What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Win podcast with your host, Aunt Ma, co-host Justin Vaseur, and we got our special lender buddy in today, Mr. William Wynn.
Hi.
This is a very great episode in having a lender with us because we're going to ask him a lot of questions to help us with some market updates, okay? Before we go into that, make sure you guys, if you're new here or if you've been listening and you haven't, make sure you guys follow, subscribe. We are on all podcast platforms. We're on YouTube where you can see the visuals of it, as well as Spotify. And then we're also on Amazon, iHeartRadio. We are also on TikTok and Instagram. So please follow, comment, get us into the algorithm. We'll love for you guys to drop down what you want us to talk about as well, what you want to hear, and we will most likely add that in.
Yep.
All right. So welcome everybody to another episode.
Welcome.
What are you doing with your eyebrows there?
It's cold up here, huh?
I can see your eyebrows more because you shaved your head.
That's
Bro, I'm losing my hair.
What do you mean you're losing your hair?
Yeah.
Why are you losing your hair?
The house.
Is it it's
House.
it's
Whole
hereditary,
ownership,
right? It's genetics
Yeah, genetics.
because your dad's like that too.
No, it's actually from the mom's side.
Is
My
it?
mom's side is bald too, so that doesn't help.
How's your mom bald?
The
my
baldness comes from your
my-
mom's side.
Oh,
My grandpa on my mom's side.
I see.
A lot of
That's
guys hate
funny.
me because I choose to shave
Why do you shave your head?
because I'm the one to pay for haircuts and I can sleep in there anywhere I want.
Isn't it cold? It's so cold right
I
now.
get
Are
used
you
to it.
guys cold?
I am cold. It is cold out here. in
Yeah, it
Vegas.
is cold.
Damn,
It
you need
is
some
cold in
beanies,
Vegas.
huh?
My hands were freezing last night.
I remember when I used to have a shaved head in my college years, and I got pulled over by a cop one time, and he pulled out his baton at my window, and he said, "Why is your head shaved?"
What?
And then I said,
Racist.
"Why is your head shaved?" I was like, "Why is yours?"
Yeah.
You know. And then I said, because it's hot, it's summertime, and I play basketball for the team and stuff. You know, and I don't know. They harass you guys. Get harassed with bald spots? I mean, not bald spots, bald heads.
I got harassed like this parking lot in Alhambra, just kicking it outside in the parking lot and pulled me over, searched for tattoos. Show me your tattoos. Like,
How long ago was this?
Like in high school, dude.
That's
I
all
didn't
the time.
I didn't have
Yeah.
tattoos yet. They're
Yeah.
like, "Where's your tattoo?" I ain't got no tattoos. Chill out. I had an attitude too, though, because I was fucking young.
That's
Whatever.
crazy. Hey, you know what, guys? We are professional lenders and realtors here.
It's back in the day. We're good now.
All right. Okay, so market updates, guys. We are in 2025 now. Do we see rates going up or down? Where are they at right now?
They're gonna be. I mean, they've been pretty stable. They've gone up since last year. That little 3 weeks of like dropping. Everyone's it's dropping.
So I remember Q4. They said that rates will drop. Right? They promised the rates will drop.
Yes.
And then all the election stuff happened.
Yes, we have
and
new
what
presidents. The president is good for the stock market. However, it's not good for mortgage rates.
What do you mean he's good for the stock market?
When the market does well, because all the things he's doing, the cuts and stuff, mortgage rates do not do well. It's tied into the 10-year Treasury, U.S. Treasury. So if bond rates yield go up, interest rates go up.
Are we looking at higher rates or lower rates then for 2025?
Higher.
Really?
I'm thinking higher or stable at least. To see, it's still the first year.
I think stable.
To see how it is, but it won't go down. I don't foresee it going down. No.
Yeah,
not below like 5%.
Hell no.
I mean, that's what we said
crazy.
last year. Last year, I was predicting like at 5%, low mid fives, and we never got there.
Nope. We finished at high sixes.
Yeah. I mean, we've predicted things pretty well on this podcast, we fell a little bit short with that, but it's because, inflation never went back down. It's still up there. So that's why the rates never got down to what we want. And, do you think that, like, how much longer can you guys wait to buy a home or an investment property?
You shouldn't wait.
You're going to keep waiting?
You shouldn't wait.
Justin, on the
He
last
didn't wait.
episode,
That guy over there didn't wait.
Justin, he bought a home.
Yep. Now he's in there having parties without us. My dad,
He's like throwing money around. Fuck the interest rates. Yeah. Throwing that equity money around, right?
Yeah. But seriously, like rates, you shouldn't wait for rates. Because when the rates go down, guess what? House prices are going to go up because they're going to be still a lot of people going for the same house you want because the interest rate's low. So,
have you seen house prices go up or down?
I think they've been stable. They've been stable lately. So.
It's been stable on my end. I'm in the day-to-day helping people buy homes, and they're still flying off the shelf. It's weird because people are buying homes, but the ones that are on social media commenting are saying they're not going to buy homes, and it's weird. And you got people who are actively out there buying homes. I don't know.
Smart people right now because they're buying homes and not without, a lot of bidding or, not overpaying and stuff. So.
There is bidding and overpaying, not too much.
Yeah,
not as much as before,
yeah.
which is a good thing. I remember the highest the rate has ever been was December 2023.
Yep.
Okay. And it was at like 8% when we closed out the year, at the highest it's ever been. And like we had so many deals.
That year was 8%.
Yeah. So just this past December 2024, what was the rate?
We closed the purchase at 6.7.
Yeah. So from 8 to 6.7. So what do you think is going to happen in December 2025? You think we'll still be at 6s or should we be lower than that?
I'm hoping we still stay the same.
You're hoping we stay the same. Why not lower?
I mean, because I don't see it going lower.
Really?
In my opinion.
You're breaking my heart right now.
In my opinion. I'm I'm realistic,
Yeah, that is crazy because what does everything look like if the interest rates go higher? Is it still going to be the same prices? Are we going to see a dip in the prices? Or what's going to happen?
I think that's what we're waiting to see all the new laws or economic changes that the new administration is going to put on. We just got to wait and see. So,
does this mean that your crash is coming, Justin?
It could be. I don't know.
It's coming back to crash talks, right? Like if rates are going to stay high.
No.
And prices don't go down for homes.
Because the house, we didn't crash when the rates were 8%. People were still buying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Have you refinanced all those people?
We are all in progress of refinance. And the ones that are 8% are already refinanced.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
congratulations. Yeah. Well, that's amazing. So, what else we got for 2025? You're right. So last year, 2024, people were still buying a lot of homes, right? We were starting in January from your 8% going down to 7s and whatever. But basically, it stayed in the 7% almost all year long in 2024.
Yeah, it did.
And that was the year I made the most ever in real estate. It was my biggest year ever.
Because people listened to us.
And it was like the highest rates it's ever been. And it was the most I've ever made, and, Justin, you're making a good point because I think a few months ago, we were talking about the commission law changes, right? And people were freaking out. Like, you were buying your house during that time. Were you freaking out?
No.
You didn't think it affected you? Yeah, it just affected me as a realtor, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see how it would affect me really. I don't know. Yeah. Where would that reflect?
It would. So what happened was when they had the law, they're saying that now buyers have to pay for their buyer's agent's commission and sellers pay for the seller's commission.
It was no longer required for the seller to pay the buyer's commission.
So everyone was freaking out saying that, oh my gosh, now the buyers are either going to have no agents because they don't want to pay anybody, or they're going to have to pay for their agent on their own. And that's how it would have affected you, right? And did that happen for you when you bought your home?
No.
No. Who paid you? Who paid your agent, which was me?
The seller.
The seller, right? So,
nothing changed.
So many realtors were like, I'm giving up.
Yeah, new realtors
right?
were giving up.
They're like, I'm going to go find another job. There's no way I'm going to make money. And nothing really happened. All the sellers are still paying for the buyer's agent's fees. The only thing that happened, and there were just so many speculations and things, and everything was wrong. What basically happened was that the listing agents who are selling the home can no longer put on there if they're giving commission. It had to be disclosed outside of that. They couldn't put like we are offering X amount commission to the buyers. It just had to be in the contract. It will be in there. That's the part that has to be upfront with the law. So when we have our offers and our purchase agreements that are going to be signed, it says how much commission is going to be on there and who is paying for it. Okay. That wasn't on there before. Before, you'll see your listing, and when you're looking for a home, it'll say they are offering this much commission to the buyer's agent. Now that part's gone. Now you have to ask outside of that. Like, hey, call them. Are you guys offering commission or no?
Yeah, I don't think it changed anything, because a lot of when sellers aren't offering to cover a buyer's agent, then they're not going to do it.
That's why nothing changed. Everyone was so scared, and literally all sellers are still paying the buyer's agent. Nothing has changed.
Because it's always been like that. Negotiations back.
Right. So no need to be scared. Everyone was just going crazy over it, which was weird.
Fear mongo, just make everyone scared.
Yeah.
And it worked for some. Not us.
So, this is like over half a year later, and real estate is still the same.
Yep.
People are still buying homes. Is there anything, what's been going on with you as a lender lately? Have there been a lot of people buying in the last few months?
There's still people buying, a lot of refinances, because all the people that bought last year and the year before are refinancing.
Is that something that, one of the strategies that we told them when the rates were high?
Yeah, that's the exact strategy we said. Buy the rates high with the house price lower, because the rate can always be refinanced.
Yeah.
So you'll always save money.
Why do you think people didn't listen to that and didn't buy a home? Did they think that, they would lose money if they refied, or
people are afraid, like, oh, I'm going to lose out, or like, oh, that rate's too high. Like, they listen to the media.
Do they lose money when they refinance?
Nope. They saved money.
But why do they save money? Look, I know these answers, guys. I know these answers, right? But I'm going to ask our professional lender here. If you're saying they are saving money, but they still got to pay for a refinance for the job to get done, how are they saving money?
Because the interest rate's lower, right? And the cost of refinance is not like buying a house where it's like $20,000. Like, well, at most maybe $3,000 to $5,000, depending. And that's, most of that fees are going to title and escrow, and your property taxes, because we got to recalculate that. But at the end of the day, if you're planning to stay there more than 5 years, you're gonna save money.
It comes down to this. This is as simple as it gets. All right. When you refinance, Justin, for your house, right now you have a great rate right below the 6s, and let's say the rate drops to 5%, and it's telling you that you can save $400 a month. And then when you do the refinance, you don't have to put any money up front. You're just gonna put it all into the loan. All of a sudden, magically, after signing docs, you have a brand new rate at 5%, and now your payments are $400 less a month. Yep. Yes, you did pay for the fees in there, but it didn't come out of your pocket. All you see is you save $400 a month. Yep. Now your $3,000 a month is $2,600 a month. So at the end of the day, like this lender is saying, you are saving money. People don't think of it. They're just like, oh, I got to pay $5,000 for a refinance to get done.
But $400 extra a month.
But you're saving $400 a month. You actually saved money. So where's the mentality of like, oh my gosh, I just paid this, and I lost it. You're literally saving thousands of dollars a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you could probably, if people are thinking about the loss, you could make that back in like a year or two, and you're going to stay in the house more than a year or two.
But that's what I'm trying to say, though, is like, why are you and other people saying they consider it a loss and it's going to take 1 or 2 years to get back? You're literally saving money instantly, month to month.
People don't, like, some people calculate, oh, I don't want that extra $5,000 on my loan, but some people are like that.
They're saving $400 a month.
Yeah,
you use that 400 to
do a lot
Bitcoin.
of things, dude. Yeah, dude.
Imagine. So here's the right way. Okay, when you buy a home at a high rate and you can afford it, right? You're paying this high monthly payments. And then when you refi, you save $400, $500 a month. Let's just make it easy, simple math. $500 a month you're saving.
Yeah.
Imagine after you refi, that $500, instead of now going to that interest, you can now put in another bank account and accumulate every month $500.
Yep.
Now with that $500 that you have in 12 months, what would you do with that $6,000 a year?
Dude, vacation.
Oh, that's what you do with it?
And sorry, I'm thinking of not win investing.
No, you're thinking of
Vacation's
Vietnamese
a
win,
win.
NGUYEN,
Vietnamese win,
would go to
vacation,
Vietnam, right?
go to Hawaii, But,
Yeah.
But no, maybe
But-
maybe half vacation and maybe half invested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Put in something to make money. Or put everything to make money. Double it.
yeah, I don't know. What would, so like people don't think about that when you are saving monthly amounts of money, people just
Spend it.
Yeah, people
they
spend
just
it.
spend it. They can buy more things, but
Yeah.
like imagine
away.
putting it into another account and letting it accumulate what you saved
Yeah.
and then
6
using it
G's
for
extra,
something.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You put it in that perspective, you are right.
I mean, so I do see a lot of people still buying homes in 2025 consistently,
Yeah.
but it's not like how it was where you had to fight so much. So I got to tell you, as a realtor, it's still a great time to buy a home because you're not fighting.
Yeah. It's when the interest rates are low, it's when it's tough because you're fighting against, instead of fighting against 5 different bidders,
So
20 different bidders.
I guess I understand your perspective, William. As a lender, you're saying you hope that it stays at this rate. And yeah, I agree because it allows people to not have to fight for homes.
Yeah.
So people who have been waiting on the sidelines, just buy your home this year. You know what I mean? But if
you wait,
because what's going to happen in 2026? Are rates going down?
And you never know, but if it does go down, then you're going to be rushing with the other millions of people to buy a house.
Yep.
And then you're going to be overpaying by hundreds of $1,000s on your home.
And you can be like Justin, who's just on the sideline, like, I'm good, dude. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get your house and
just
then
refinancing, you're just saving money after that.
yeah, once you get your house, you don't really think about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just have a house now.
Yeah, it's not important to you
Yeah.
anymore.
If it does crash, the only thing that you can worry about really is like your job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's only if you
Like-
sell your house that you worry about.
Yeah,
Job.
but like
That's
in
it.
10 years,
It's gonna recover.
you'll recover.
1 year. What the crash was 08, 07, when it was the last crash. Within a year, it recovered, and people freaking buying houses left and right, man.
What they're saying that's going to happen right now with crashes is the residential crash talk is over.
Yeah,
It's not going to crash, for people's homes. But what they think might crash is commercial real estate.
that is true.
And the reason why commercial real estate might crash is because there's several things. We can go really deep into government loans and what they got to pay off and they can't pay it off. And that's why it's crashing. But what I believe is because inflation is still high. Food prices are still high. Restaurant food prices are still high. Anything you fucking buy is high, man. You try to buy a car, everything's like 60, 70 grand for a new car.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's crazy. For a car that used to be like 40, 50 grand.
Yeah.
Just, labor, construction, everything is high. And so when you think about, everything is so expensive, like food, and business owners who you think they're going to have the motivation to open up a new restaurant, how high do they have to put their prices? So it's harder for people to open up these commercial spaces to build a business.
Yeah, like office spaces. People work from home.
So there's a lot of vacancies in commercial leases right now. So the landlords for these commercial properties, I don't think they're going to be doing too well, right? A lot of open spots. And I think that's what's going to crash.
You know what I see happening though? Like recently, like they're turning those commercial spaces into living spaces.
What?
Yeah.
So what they're doing is like a hybrid, and they started this in 2021.
Yeah. Work home hybrid type of thing.
Did they have that here?
You're talking about that.
Yeah, like those buildings.
So what they're doing is like they have these popular plazas that have all these like restaurants, stores and stuff, right? Big parkings, right? And now what they're doing is they're knocking down all of them and they're building condos and apartments either right next to it or like second stories and above. And the first story is all the retail shops, so that way landlords can still, so they don't die. They have income from residential and commercial.
They're still expensive as hell, though.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
I saw there's this one spot that I wanted to get. It was like 700 square feet or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like $2,400 a month.
That's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
like a little tiny
I mean, I don't know how that is like business wise, but for me, I was like, what? You know, I have like some friends. I mean, obviously it's in a different area, but they're paying for like a little bit more janky spot, and it's
Yeah.
like barely $1,000 or like $1,200. You know what I mean?
You know, and some people don't think that you can actually have your office in your own house,
Mhm.
right? Like, you get a little bit of a bigger house that has an extra room for your office, your home office. Maybe I understand because you can't have clients come in and out, right?
Mhm.
But the ones that can have their home office, you know, your business pays for part of that house because you're using it. So when you think about, oh man, I can't pay $3,000 a month, you gotta remember maybe 1,000 of it is paid by your business,
Mhm.
right? And you still get to have this beautiful home.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of wins here that people don't think about. A lot of insight.
Yeah. And I think for 2025, I'm able to focus on those types of wins. You know, like
Yeah.
focus on more business aspect things now that everything's behind me.
Yeah, like your personal stuff's kind of.
What are some
Sick.
business stuff you got going on?
I just want to be able to focus on marketing more.
Marketing for
Well, just marketing my business.
oh, I
You know what I
see.
mean? So like for the last couple of months, I haven't really been able to focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm like, all right, gotta go heavy for 2025, lock in some contracts and
Yeah.
and see what I can do with that. Cause you know, there's a lot of potential there and I haven't tapped into it yet.
What kind of contracts are you looking for? Like, what do you do? Because, you know, a lot of people who are listeners here on the Next Win, they don't know what you do besides photos and videos for people, but like you do much more than that.
Well, I mean, it is photo and video centric. So it would
But
be
for who?
for different clients, like you know, I mean, examples would be like Amazon or whatever.
What?
So-
What do you mean Amazon?
Well, there like we just did they hosted like a big event for their employees at the Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so we did some video coverage of that event.
Nice.
Dope.
So like what's cool is these bigger corporate companies, they do a lot of internal type of events that they need coverage for like their internal affairs or whatever the case may be. And so that's what I want to kind of focus on. Just kind
So
of
like for events?
Getting his contracts.
yeah, just contracts for like producing content of
For
their
them.
events or
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
Nice.
But it's like really hard to get those. You have to
But
go
once
through
you-
a lot
once
of people.
Once you get connected to those people, though.
Yeah, you got to go through a lot of people, build relationships,
Yeah, there you
and
go.
get the snowball rolling.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. I'm like at the very beginning of all that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to lock in those kinds of things with different companies around the world.
Nice.
Dope.
That's
You can
sick.
take us with you on it when you go travel, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the idea. The idea too is to create a team to be able to send out everywhere.
Damn.
Yeah.
The last 10 years I've been doing it like myself, you know, and it's kind of like, all right, got to refocus on how to expand a little bit and try to run an actual business.
Yeah.
Cause like being a freelancer is cool and all, but like doing it all yourself becomes kind of crazy.
Right.
Because you're getting those contracts, but now you need support. You get tied down by one. Now
Yeah.
instead of getting one, you get three contracts, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a team working for you. That's how you grow.
So I guess, hey, if you guys, you know, listeners out there, you're starting new business projects or you have them, Justin is available for your needs. Please reach out to him. How do they reach out to you? How's everyone going to reach out to you for work? The lender, me? What do we do here?
I would say the best way to reach out to me is my email, and it's just going to be justin@justinvaseur.com. That's really it. I mean, you could check out my Instagram, hit me up on Instagram, Justin Vaseur, but
Is your email in our description box?
It's going to be.
Yes.
yeah, it's going to be.
So you guys can find Justin's email, my email for real estate stuff,
My email too. That's the best way.
and William for any lender stuff. Like you guys want to get pre-approved, you can find it in the description box. We'll have it there for you guys. So email us. All right. We are here doing this podcast for you guys. We want to see you guys get some wins. We want to hear your stories. We want to be a part of your wins.
Yeah.
Okay. So reach out to us. All right. That's what we're here for. And I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode of The Next Win. If you guys are new or you liked it, comment, subscribe. We're on all podcast platforms: Apple, Amazon, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TikTok, and Instagram. William helps run the TikTok and Instagram. So if you want to DM him on our Next Win podcast
Good
account.
things only, all right? That's why.
Oh, what? What else gonna happen?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, so reach out. All right, William can answer your questions, and we'll see you guys next time on The Next Win.